Alright, here we go guys. We're gonna have a nice meal prep today with some yogurt to start out with, and then we're gonna make some lunch that's like a breakfast burrito, and then finally some dinner, which is like a weird Thai dish with tofu. But we're gonna start out with the yogurt, including some granola from Trader Joe's, coconut and cranberry because yum, and some fresh strawberries. And yeah, that's literally the only 3 ingredients. It's quite simple. Don't quite know why I made a video for this bit, but anyway, chop all the strawberries however the fuck you want to chop them. I decided to cut mine into like 4 pieces and then cut them in half so they were kind of bite-sized. And quite a few of these strawberries were gross, so I didn't use those ones. But here are my cute little containers that I use. And I'm going to take this cup, like just full regular measuring size cup, and realize that this spoon is far too small to fill up this whole cup, and that I'm being stupid, and we will not use the spoon, and just use the whole cup into the yogurt, but not a full cup. A little bit less than full cup. I even realized later that this was too big of a scoop for this first container, and I will have to even it out in a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and scoop in yogurt, about just less than a cup, into every single one of these containers. This is some whole fat vanilla yogurt from Trader Joe's. And this is me getting all that yogurt. Don't waste a freaking drop of that shit. It's just yummy. I love me some yogurt. And yeah, so the scrapey scrape. And am I done with this yet? Okay, we're good. Now, I didn't really measure this out. I just kind of pour out the granola until it covers the top. I like to put it right on top of the yogurt instead of the fruit next because it actually softens up and becomes a bit oatmeal-ish in the fridge. And then I took a little 1/8 cup and put strawberries on. Some of you might not like that oatmeal idea, and if that's not your game, then go ahead and just keep that granola separate until you eat it. But me, I like my granola nice and moist. So that's that. That was all the strawberries. Now we're doing the lunch. There's a couple tomatoes we're going to be putting in this. Also a couple of green peppers. And an onion, but not the whole thing. Just half, as I will show later. And some sausage. Sausage does not roll as nicely as everything else, but it's Trader Joe's sausageless sausage. And if you prefer to eat meat and not be like me, all vegetarian and shit, then just replace it with regular ass sausage. And then here are the eggs I'm using. And definitely could have used more eggs for this if you want, but I only had 4, so I used what I had. And now we're just gonna dice up the tomatoes into decent sized chunks. I wasn't feeling too particular about making them really tiny, plus it's difficult, it takes a long time, and you know, this is where I stopped to consider my life though so far, that I'm currently making a video where I'm voicing over a frozen picture of me chopping tomatoes, or the fact that I recorded myself chopping tomatoes last night. It's quite the existential crisis to be having. In other words, that's a really big knife, and it was really fun to cut up everything with it. And now we're on to the green peppers. Awesome. We're gonna chop off the top of these in case you've never cut off green peppers before. You're gonna cut out the insides, pull out that seed bit and shit in there, because those can be not fun to chew on, or they can be spicy. Just depending. Just get them the fuck out of the green pepper. You don't want that shit anyway. Do it to the second one, exact same way. Pit it on the inside. And then contemplate life, but once again, because here you are, voicing over yourself cutting up a green pepper, and most average adults in the world probably know how to cut up a green pepper, and this is a completely useless point to be making. Also, this video is like 18 minutes long. Who's actually gonna sit here and watch this whole thing and listen to me ramble on about how I know shit about cooking, but like, I don't know that much. I mean, I worked at a Chinese restaurant, bro. But anyway, back to the onion. So we've got the onion now. I peeled off like the icky, like dry, crispy ass outer shell, and we're gonna cut it in half. Go put that other half in a bag for later, which I realized I wasted because I cooked the next thing immediately after. And only cut up half this onion for this dish. And if you're an expert onion cutter like myself, you know how to cut it so that when you've cut it into slices, you can do a little round cut like this, and you get diced pieces without having to go further into chopping. I mean, if you want to minced, fucking mince that shit, but like, you don't want to minced, and you don't care about eating onions because they shrink up when you cook them anyway, so like the size, it's just not that big a deal. That's probably a lesson on life right there. size just isn't that big of a deal. Take that how you will. It doesn't have to be what you're thinking. I could be talking about my dress size for all you know. I probably wasn't though. Who knows? Anyway, now we're cutting up a sausage. How timely. The sausageless sausage has great seasoning in it. But yeah, I kind of diced it up because I didn't want to, just eat a whole fucking sausage when I was eating my dish. I didn't want to just plop that in there and cut it up. It makes more sense. And now we're showing cracking eggs. And I have a natural knack to never get an eggshell in a bowl while I'm cracking eggs, but I'm using 4, and like I said, I definitely didn't have enough fucking eggs for this. You should definitely use more eggs if you make this. Just use more. And I'm gonna add in some milk to this, and also some seasonings. I don't always use a ton of seasonings. It's usually just a bit of basil and a bit of sea salt that flash by the scene. Well, I guess that works as a word. Flash by the camera real quick, but yeah, I put those in, and then I have this obsession with poking every yolk before I whisk it, and then I whisk it with the fork until it's nice and scrambled. And we've got a nice mixture. Literally just eggs, milk, basil, and salt. Oh, look at everything. That's a nice little spread. Can't see the tomatoes underneath all the green pepper and onions, but this is everything that's going to be going in there. So you get a little canola oil or olive oil, and you pour in all your veggies, and the main thing that needs to cook here is the onions need to cook, get a little yellow, and the green peppers need to soften up a bit. Tomatoes don't really need to spend too much time cooking. So I'm just going to toss these together real quick, and I believe I put a lid on this and let it steam a little bit, and then I went and put it in a strainer to get out all the extra juices because tomatoes are really watery. And we didn't need our breakfast burritos to be super watery and drippy, and then this is just me cooking up scrambled eggs. I mean, this is a really basic dish. I assume most people know how to cook this, and I'm not going to insult the average population's intelligence by telling them how you stir eggs and make sure they don't burn. God damn it, I just did it. But anyway, cooking up the eggs. If you notice, the kettle has turned on in the meantime. Someone came over and turned on the kettle, so that's super fascinating. Glad I told everyone that. Add in the sausage. The little sausage pieces, toss it in with the eggs. They need to cook a little bit, not too much though, because they're not real meat, so they're not raw, but they are going to get a little bit more brown, just a little bit more color to them. Look nice and tasty. But yeah, I left these to cook for about 10 minutes, maybe more. I just didn't want the eggs to stick. The sausage was fine though. And then the same thing with the green peppers and tomatoes. Those maybe cooked for like 5 minutes. It just didn't need that long. Plus, I'm going to be reheating it in the microwave later. So we're back to the good old cup, and we're portioning things in our lunch containers. And we're not filling it up all the way, which was a good decision because it just isn't quite enough for that. But we scoop it all up in the cup and we divvy it up and make sure it's about even. And now we're doing almost a full cup for the veggies and fruit that is going on top, because tomatoes technically are fruit. And yeah, just portion it up so that it's nice and portioned. Anyway, this is a nice dish. You put it on a plate, reheat it, add some cheese on top, and cook up some toast to go with it, and you've got a full lunch without being too heavy or huge of a lunch. It's pretty good. I approve of this lunch. I think it's pretty. I ate it today. It was nice and tasty, and I hope you guys approve of it as well. Now, we're moving on to din din. A couple of red peppers. The onion went by first, and we're going to be putting some carrots in this weird Thai dish thing, and brown rice. One of those packages was almost empty, so it also got put in there with my package I recently bought. And we're also going to be using tofu and sweet and sour sauce. And because sweet and sour, it's spicy chili, whatever, sweet chili. Because I had done this prep of marinating the tofu, you guys didn't need to see it, I didn't realize I was going to make this video. So what you do is you take the tofu block and you set it on the block, cut it up, so it's in cubes, then you put it, this is very important for marinating tofu, you put it in a strainer in a bowl, put all the tofu in, and you put a bowl on top like that, or something like that on top, and then you weight it down so it can squeeze some of the water out of the tofu, and this really helps with marinating it. Look at me giving an actual tip, because once it's depleted of some of that water, it's like a little sponge, and it can soak back up sauce if you've depleted it a little bit of water. So this really helps flavor your tofu. The longer you can let it sit and do that, or the more water you can press out, the better flavoring. Anyway, now we're moving on to the sweet potatoes, which is kind of the side dish for din din. the sweet potatoes are going to be peeled, because why the fuck not? Because I'm a vain motherfucker who likes to peel my sweet potatoes. And my carrots, you're gonna find out. I peel my carrots. It's a completely unnecessary thing, but I just find that they look so ugly on the outside. So we're gonna peel them. I mean, I know there's gonna be some fuckers out there who just don't want to peel this shit because, like, the skin is, like, healthy for you or something. And, like, I get it. I get the logic. But like I said, I'm a vain person. I don't need my potatoes looking like a foot. That doesn't make much sense. But anyway, cut up the potatoes into chunks. You can cut these however you want, do them however you want. They could be fries, they could be mashed, they could be cooking in a crock pot or something. But I just cubed them a bit. Kind of cubed. They're weird shaped. And now, a lot of people use olive oil or oil for this to oil up the potatoes, but I use canola because it's a little bit sweeter and it plays well with the sweet potatoes. Just be careful you don't use too much, and be sure as soon as you melt this stuff in the microwave, I think I put it in for like 30 seconds, that you put it on the potatoes because it will congeal again and get thick, and you gotta stir them quick because it'll congeal on the potatoes because they're cold. Anyway, but it works really well. And now I'm going to put this baking paper on it because I don't like to clean my dishes. So, you know, it's a lot easier if you just use baking paper. And here we go. We got the potatoes. They're in frame. They're in frame. Okay. And we pour the oil on them. And we're going to toss them around a bit. And the video is going to freeze in a moment, unfortunately, because I suck at editing. But I leave in a few moments. And then they're going to get dumped onto the tray. And spread out real nice. Oh, there you go. There's the salt. A little bit of sea salt in my life. A little bit of seasoning on the side. A little bit of potatoes, all I need. A little bit of working video is not what I see. That was my small impromptu parody of Mama No. 5. I really like the voice I've developed for this, the voiceover voice, the calm leading about talking about fucking food. It's such a calm voice for me to consistently be swearing and being sarcastic about things. We could talk about anything right now, like another life crisis, or how cutting up things with a big knife is really fun. It makes you feel very dangerous. Like you could either cut off your own finger at any moment, or just, you know, slit someone's slit by accident. This is going so well. Or just slit someone's carotid artery. I think that's how you say that. Anyway, we're cooking rice, and this is kind of a dumb thing to show because most people know how to cook rice, but yeah. However much rice you put in, double the water. However much you measure of it, blah 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 blah. Rinse it if you want, but I don't need to do that. I've worked in a Chinese restaurant long enough to know that it just doesn't make that much of a difference, especially brown rice. Brown rice is just not that starchy, so go ahead and pour the water in, blah 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 blah. Add in water. Oh yeah, you put it over the. That looks good right there. Anyway, turn on the heat. You bring it to a boil. Honestly, I don't pay that much attention to my rice. It cooks just fine. The bubbles keep it from sticking to the bottom usually, as long as you have the right amount of rice. That was my excitement over finding the correct lid. But I'm gonna stir it real quick just to make sure nothing stuck to the bottom right away. Leave the lid on. I set a timer for 10 minutes. I think it cooked the full 10 minutes and it was done. That might have even been a little bit too long, but I put it really high. Now we're coming back to the main part of the dish. Now that we've done the rice and the potatoes as the sides, you missed me putting the potatoes in the oven, but I put them in at 400 degrees Celsius for like 30-ish minutes, I want to say. I don't know, just keep an eye on your shit and it won't burn. Simple. Anyway, so now I'm peeling these carrots, which kind of just look like long, weird fingers if you think about it. Or just make you think about how you could be shaving the skin off Frosty's nose. I really don't know where that train of thought came from, but this is slightly out of frame, so I apologize for the horrible framing. I don't care. I tried. I did all this effort. Can you see all this effort? I'm peeling carrots. I could have just bought the baby ones and cut them and saved myself the stress and the waste of food that I'm sure my mother is staring at and thinking, you could have ate that instead of just peeling it off and wasting it. But yeah, do you know you can chop through a carrot as easily as you could chop through your own finger? So you might not even realize it at first, but this is me, chopping up a few carrots into coinish pieces. Carrots are going to be the most difficult part to cook of this meal, because they're so hard. They're not really thick. They just take a lot of cook. I don't know. If you ever had a carrot, you know what I'm talking about. Why am I explaining this? This is another point in which the video freezes because I had to contemplate life. Not actually. it just doesn't like the fast forward thing, my editing system. I need a new editing system. But, you know, lazy and dealing with what I can get for free. And this is me, as you've noticed, cutting up some more green peppers. And instead of strips like the last one I did for the breakfast burrito-y thing without the tortilla, I'm cutting them into a bit more squarish pieces. Love peppers, they're so good. But yeah, cut through everything, peel off those weird ass white bits, and you're making a meal. Yeah, you're doing the thing. You're making a dish. Yeah, I cooked all this in one night. I'm really good at this portioning and vegetarian thing. Ooh, we're back to the onion. Watch my onion cutting skills yet again just blow your mind. Like, if you cut an onion just right, you just beautiful perfection. Suddenly I feel like I'm doing a weird ASMR video. Oh, this is entertaining. I'm putting canola oil in the pan because we're gonna need it in a moment, but then this happened. And I made that noise, and I didn't know quite what to do with it, but pretend it kind of didn't happen. Anyway, you missed me pouring in the veggies, and I'm letting them steam, because steaming is going to keep the onions from burning on the bottom, help them turn a little bit more yellow, and will help the carrots soften up a little bit faster. The peppers also soften up as a part of it, but the carrots are the important thing you need to cook here. And then once you think they've softened up enough, add in the sauce and the tofu that we're all together marinating. The sauce, when it's in with the carrots and everything, is going to help soften them too, because just getting some liquid in there helps steaming. But so look how pretty that looks. If you don't like tofu, that probably looks disgusting, but I only ate it like 20 minutes ago now, and it was so good. But like I said earlier about the sausage, if you don't eat tofu, or if you just eat meat, like average-ish people, just replace that with chicken, and it works exactly the same. But yeah, that cooked for about 10 to 15 minutes. The sauce bubbled a bit, started to really cook. And now I'm portioning the rice in 1 cup portions. The portion I made earlier, I think, yielded the 5 cups, but I just kind of guessed. And then you do the same thing. This one's going to be about 2 cups-ish of the tofu and veggies in the sweet chili sauce in every container. So this is just entertaining to watch. The portioning side of things is a video of praises yet a fucking again. Oh my god! Why? I would be saying this much louder, but it is almost midnight, and I'm really trying to be not the most obnoxious person. But the potatoes, here we are, the last of it. Well, if you guys hadn't noticed, I've been doing VEDA this month, and this is day 4, and I'm really going to try and keep up with it, and hopefully make some actual vlogs talking to you guys, and not just an impromptu vegetarian prep video. But it was fun to make this. It was different and fun, and I love being creative, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and we'll try out some of these recipes. I ate them all. They're all good. But yeah, have a nice week, you guys, and, you know, see you next time. Look at my shit. Look at the shit I made.